How did one of the biggest, most important linguistic discoveries in all of history become a tool used to help spread fascism? This all started in 1783 when Britain sends a man by the name of William Jones to India to help bring British law to these people they intended to colonize. And they sent William because he was particularly skilled with languages, and he would have to learn the laws of the land and figure out a way to insert British influence into it. This led to him having to study an ancient text called the Vedas in the original Sanskrit, and upon doing so, he made a discovery that Sanskrit, ancient Greek, Latin, and other European languages were all linked together. There was undeniable evidence that they all had to have been derived from the same mother tongue, a language that would come to be known as Indo-European. Now, this is a groundbreaking discovery because at this time, colonialism is in full swing. The concept of whiteness exists, so in an ideal world, showing people that they share the same ancestry as the people that they're discriminating against because of their skin color should have completely shattered this ridiculous social construct that is race and racism. But you know, racist gone racist, and this is where the fascists come in. William needed to come up with a name to call this family of languages, so he chose a Sanskrit word meaning noble. The word was Arya, and in ancient Sanskrit it calls the people who practice the Hindu religion Aryans. You see where this is going now, right? As you can probably imagine, lots of people just could not bear the fact that they shared ancestry with these people that they were actively dehumanizing, so this gave birth to all types of wild conspiracy theories, one of which you've probably heard before, about this Aryan race of white people who must have conquered the Indians, and from them all of Indian culture came from. In fact, in 1923, an Indian man argued before the United States Supreme Court that because he was a full-blooded high-caste Indian from the north of India, that he was in fact a descendant of this white Aryan race, and therefore he was white and should be allowed United States citizenship. There was also a German racist by the name of Alfred Rosenberg who really liked this theory as well, so much so that he took his own twisted views about race and mixed them in with the theory, perverting it even further, and he had a superfan with a very infamous mustache. And his superfan went so far as to send troops into the Himalayas to do things like measure people's skulls and look for indisputable proof that this race of mythical white people with blonde hair and blue eyes had actually descended from the lost city of Atlantis and was forced to relocate to somewhere in northern India and conquer the Browns. There was a Hindu symbol that he really liked, except to him it wasn't a Hindu symbol, it was a piece of culture from this ancient race of white people, and he took it and he literally and figuratively twisted it and stuck it on all of his flags, and I think you know how that story ends. And all of this came about from groups of people wanting to continue upholding white supremacy in the face of something that challenged it, taking something that they didn't know the meaning of, didn't know the origin of, didn't actually care about understanding, and just taking it and twisting it and redefining it and morphing it into something that they could use to galvanize their base and spread their hatred and their sick, twisted ideology across as much of the world as possible. And I think about that quite often whenever I observe the way a certain group of people uses the word woke.